Hey, what's going on, you guys? Let's welcome you guys to the channel. Big Dog back with another one take review. And today I got one from Modern Love Season 2. Listen, I love a good love story. I might not believe in the stuff in real life, but when I'm watching the show, I love these stories about just love, just in general. And this one, the first season, I thought was fantastic. So many different people from different walks of life. Most of those stories took place in New York, but I still like how they all, I ain't gonna say tied them together, but I like what they did. Of course, these are like true stories, and of course they have to be changed a little bit, to fit the narrative, or just like into this 30-minute story that they're telling. But I enjoyed them all from the first season. The second season continues with more stories, and this time it kind of bounces around. We're in Dublin. We in a lot of different places. They just put it like we in. I think we're back in New York. It just bounces around, and we got a lot of different unique stories. Now I will say I still think I like the first season more, but that's not saying that I didn't like this one at all, because I did. It's just some of the stories I don't feel like were as interesting as the first seasons were. And there were times where there were just certain things going on that felt weird, and the way like the stories were told. Like sometimes it was I can't quite remember exactly which story it was. And I wish I would have screenshotted this, but yeah, I did screenshot it. There were some of them that like had like a little fantasy type feel to them, or like people would like go off into like a daze or daydreaming and stuff like that, and that was cool. Or it gets the message across, but it's not necessarily what I want to see. And a film like this, a show like this, you know what I'm saying? Because like the first one just felt kind of raw and authentic, and these are still authentic. It's just certain ways that some of them were directed. It kind of push you in like, okay, this feels more like a TV show rather than a retelling of a love story. And I don't know if that makes sense or not. But of course, you have 8 different stories again with eight. Well, I don't even say eight. It's like different people in each, involved in different scenarios, and they have certain stories I think that hit, and some of them didn't land as well. Like I think a lot of people talk about the two strangers on the train, which was a good one. That one actually like focuses on like COVID-19 and the effects of that, and this person, uh, they plan on meeting each other back at a train station, but because of COVID, weren't able to. So it was like, okay, wow. And that one actually ends on a cliffhanger, which I was like kind of pissed off about. I'm like, okay, what happens there? I kind of feel like a couple of these kind of, I don't need to know if these people live happily ever after, but I need to know like, where does this go from now? Like episode 4, a life plan for two followed by one. It was the story of the childhood friends, and the girl always liked the boy, but like he didn't necessarily like her back, and then they end up connecting, and then falling out, and then connecting again. And I'm just kind of like, okay, where did this story go? Did they just leave it at that? Did they actually think they could do something with it? Like a lot of those do that, man. And I was just like, man. But some of them were like beautiful as well. Like some, and that's just like straight up what it is. The night the girl finds a day boy, and this girl, like she has this condition in which, and I apologize. I'm not saying any of the actor's name right now because I'm ill prepared. I was gonna apologize for that, because I know some of these. Well, I know some of these people faces, but I can't think of the name. But nonetheless, back to the night girl and the day boy. I like their story a lot. I like their story a lot because I was just like, y'all gonna put this between you two, and it's like you see what was going on. Like okay, that's your condition. You mean to tell me you can't get up a little bit early? You can't, you know what I'm saying, wake up a little bit early, come meet me. I was just like, yeah, I like the back and forth between these two. It kind of feels real, just like them falling off. It's like, okay, I'm about to leave. And she's like, okay, like, oh my God, that's just okay. You're not gonna chase her. Like it just felt like, yeah, this is the one. And then how that whole thing ends up getting resolved at the end, where you just pretty much put your pride to the side, like, hey, I'll deal with it, whatever you have going. I just need you. I just need to be around you. And period. I was just like, oh, yes, yes, come on, come on. The first episode on the Serpentine Road with the top down. This one, I think I was watching and I was just like, what is it about? Is it about the car? For the most part, I'm thinking this episode, the first one, I'm like, is it about the car? And he's like, nah, it's about what the car represents. It's about what the car does. About the. I know that. Like there are certain things, and I like never been married, but like my mama, you know what I'm saying. Certain things, I like. I never get rid of this, just because it was my mama's. You know, I never let nobody have like this is. It just reminds me of her. It takes me back to a certain time, certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it was with this car, and the husband's understanding is another aspect that I liked. It's like you don't have to keep this away from me. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like your love for like you loving somebody else does not take away the love you have for me, and that's something I can recognize. Man, I'm just like, God, dog. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, okay, we started off in a fantastic in a fantastic place. I'm trying to go through all of them, you know what I'm saying, and I'm also not trying to like give away too much, but at the same time, this is I usually do spoilers, and I know I'm 6 minutes and 42 seconds into this video talking about some spoilers, so you probably done got some already. Uh, the am I? Maybe this quiz will tell me. It's the young lady who's trying to find out. Does not know if she's gay or not, and she's like just trying to use like quizzes and stuff, trying to see, and she's kind of like nervous and about coming out and everything. I enjoyed that one too because she's young, so and I kind of feel like she rejected who she was for a while until somebody else helped her to the girl she liked helped her be like, hey man, I actually like you too. Like she's like, oh really? That's only I think she only thing she needed to know was like somebody was okay with it or somebody like was with her on it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a good one. In the waiting room of estranged spouses, this is the one where the guy gets well, the couple. Oh, okay. There's two couples and their spouses are cheating on them with each other. So that one was the only one I felt like was kind of weird, and that was the one I think was doing kind of like the fantasy stuff. I want to say that kind of bothered me a little bit. I feel like that wasn't necessary for it. That's the only thing about that one. And the people, the main guy, he was kind of awkward at times too, and his mindset was kind of messed up. But I think it kind of developed better as the story went on. But of course, we don't know how it ends up because it's just like, okay, this is this happened. Now we're past it now. So I don't know. I would love to know how that scenario ended up with those two because they end up getting together. The people who got cheated on end up getting together with the other person who got cheated on. I'm just like, wow, that's interesting as fuck. All right, okay. Um, how do you remember me? This one I think was the weakest one. I I did not. It was just too much. I would have preferred just to tell the story. You know what I'm saying of the two, rather than have them standing apart and just reminiscing. I'm like, because like they both seem to be in different spots, and one guy had a guy already, but he's over here reminiscing about another person. I'm just kind of like, I understand that is a thing that people do, 100%. I don't know. I just didn't feel like this one. This was the weakest one to me. This one just didn't quite land for me. And the last one, a second embrace with hearts and eyes open. I didn't love this one either, but man, the guy being there the way he was, the situation that they were put in, is what you, it's it's modern love. Yeah, it's what you want to see. It was love. I think that's probably like just the best way to describe it though. It was that that one might be exactly what I think love is. Considering the fact that they were together at one point in time and things didn't necessarily work out, and I like that one a lot. I like that a lot. So yeah, season two of Modern Love was good. Don't think it was as good as the first one. Ready to see a season three though. I'm hoping they continue with this. I want to keep hearing stories about people, uh, and their love story, and which don't necessarily revolve around actually being in love, or just like, hey, I met this person, we dated, and now we not. It's not. There are more compelling ways. Well, not, I'm not gonna say more compelling ways, even though that is true. It's just like more compelling stories to tell, because there are so many different things that happen throughout the walks of life, and I like how the way this like depicts them. You know what I'm saying? But the overall theme is love. So yeah, Modern Love season two, pretty good. You guys check it out if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the vid. Hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll catch up with you guys later.